Titles, go.
Oh, I lost mine. Why all the chin?
Veggies and fun.
Stupid kitchen.
One less light pole.
D. Cena.
Job residuals.
Jesus Christ.
Two in the front, one in the back.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. Naked versus nude.
I just want it to be over.
You channeled your inner Jack there. I love it.
I did.
Bryson the Furious.
Should have worn the brown pants.
1, 2, 10 dudes playing beer darts.
Not in your Jeep.
Zombie tits.
Pinball. Pinball everywhere, except in Massachusetts.
Violent ball speed.
DC.
Sorry. We all are part of the Tide Pod generation. Tide Pod generation.
Fat dude stuck in the tub. Rub-a-dub-dub. I have diarrhea. Fuck!
All
You do
right.
now.
You will now. Jesus Christ.
The rest of us, let's do it.
Warning. What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Geek Pod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
I'm Corbs.
I'm Kev.
Everyone's happy. I'm Jack.
And I'm DC, and you can't see me.
The voice. It's the voice.
It's a voice from above.
Wow.
And if that's the case, you guys are all fucked.
I figured that out a long time ago.
And it's not coming from above, it's coming from the ground.
That's right. It's coming from below.
Guys, what's got you geeked?
I will be happy after tomorrow when my kitchen is finally done because they are pulling up the floor. Let me tell you guys a story. I found out just how stupid my house is today. So I've told the story about how we're pretty sure all the tiles in the kitchen cracked because the old Italian guy my mother-in-law hired to put it down before we moved in didn't rip up the old subfloor. That wasn't it. They pulled up the tiles. They found linoleum. They pulled up linoleum. They found hardwood. And under that hardwood, there was then finally the actual floor. But it took them all day to get that up because it was a lot more there than they expected to find. So they finally got that up and they got the subfloor down. So tomorrow it's just going to be laying down the flooring and putting the new countertops on the cabinets. And hopefully midday will be done. But I will be glad because our entire house is upended. And I swear to God, since like last Thursday, I've been running nonstop from getting the backyard all cleaned up and getting the pool opened only for... What, Kevin?
What is he doing?
We're trying to figure out why Corbs is just showing everybody his chin.
Yeah, take a look.
Well, from getting the backyard cleaned up and going like crazy to Memorial Day play for Memorial Day, only for it to rain and us not be able to use it anyway. But all the cooking for Memorial Day, and then of course we couldn't move anything out of the kitchen until after Monday because we needed the kitchen to prepare all the food. So then it was like crazy taking everything out of there. And let me tell you something: when you have to move everything out of your kitchen, you think, oh well, I have to move this, 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 and that, and it's not a big deal. No, it's a big fucking deal because
It's
you
a
find
bitch.
stuff you bought and never used like
Yeah.
10 years ago. It's fucking ridiculous. We filled an entire other room with the shit we took out of that room. So, oh my God. And then, was it Monday morning? Monday morning, Lowe's drops off the plywood. And here I am trying to move sheets of plywood up onto my porch by myself so they don't get rained on. I don't know if any of you have moved a sheet of plywood by yourself recently. It's fucking hard.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's
Yeah.
heavy.
In fact, my elderly senior citizen neighbor, Diane of Diane's Veggies fame, came out and offered to help and did because she's like, I
Outstanding.
didn't want you to have a heart attack. You looked like you were really struggling.
Well, and plywood is still ridiculously expensive, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like $32 to $35 a sheet, if
Yeah.
that's expensive.
It is.
No, that's expensive.
I don't know what it was before the pandemic, so I don't
lot
know if
less.
the prices have come down.
No, everything's expensive. What is one thing though that you moved to another room that you found in your kitchen that you're like, wow, I did not know I had that still?
Jesus,
Diane's
I don't-
Veggetti.
Yeah, that's fair.
I gave her Veggetti back and bought my own.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't know, Jack. There was just too much stuff.
That's
It
fair.
was
Oh.
overwhelming. Like it's
Mhm.
the amount of stuff we've had to get done in the past 7 days has been like sensory overload, overwhelming. I just want it all to be over.
Mhm.
Me too.
All right, I guess I'll go next. So this has actually been a work in progress, which is pretty cool. What has me geeked this week? So the other week 2 weeks ago, I was talking to my buddy on Facebook, just Facebook Messenger, and I get this message and it starts off Mr. Corbett. I'm like, what now? It's like, who's bothering me and all that stuff. So I was a teacher, like I taught a little bit 13 years ago, and it was one of my old students, actually, believe it or not. He just graduated from RIT. And I was like, oh, wow, this kid is already 22 years old. I remember when he was still 11 years old. I'm like, holy shit. So he's been working part-time jobs like Burn Dairy, those Dollars cheeseburgers. That's another reason I want to bring this up. Working Wegmans too, which I thought was cool, but he just can't nail his first full-time job. He's interviewing, he just can't figure it out. So I helped him with his resume. Like I said, I do that stuff on the side. I think it's pretty fun. And we did the mock interviewing part, which was really cool. And breaking news into this podcast, he nailed his interview and he'll be starting at Lockheed Martin on Monday morning.
Oh,
Wow.
So hell yeah. So I thought that was really cool. Like he's a good kid. Well, 22 years old, he's a man, but like I just remember when he was in school, nobody wanted to sit at his lunch table. They always made fun of him and all that stuff. And I was always just sitting with him. I'm like, you got this, buddy. You know what you're doing. And I don't know how he found my Facebook. I should probably ask him how he found it, which is kind of weird. But long story short, he got his first job, which has me geeked. I like to see people succeed. And just the drive, his confidence is growing. He's getting stronger. And hell, Lockheed Martin, that's a lot better than I would have gotten. Like, oh my, holy shit.
What percent are you charging him for giving him his shot?
I will say that off air, mind you, my residuals. No, it's not that bad. I wouldn't charge people, but it was fair. But yeah, I just like what he has. It's just like seeing somebody smile, someone's confidence growing is just great. So I was like, now take that with you and do that in your career and pay it forward. So what has me geeked? Helping somebody out.
Outstanding.
What's
right,
he do, Jack?
What's that?
What's he do?
He right now just works at Burn Dairy and Wegmans part-time.
Yeah, but what is his degree in it from RIT?
Oh, like what's his degree? It
Custodial
is-
services.
No, it's computer programmer, basically.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I know. Yeah, he's very smart. Very, very
Good.
smart. So
the interviews for computer programming are typically sit down and write us some code.
he's very intelligent. Like I said, he went from RIT to this, and And he was adopted too at a young age. So like I said, like he's not even from this country. So his parents adopted him very young. It's a really good story. So I just thought it was awesome.
Cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Neat.
Definitely.
All right, I got a story for you guys. I got a couple of them.
Oh,
So what's got me geeked? So Kathy and I did the whole motorcycle trip thing where I took the backcountry discovery route. It's look up BDR, ridebdr.com, and you'll find all these different routes that have been created. The one I went on this last time was the MA, the Mid-Atlantic. Starts on the New York PA border, ends up in Damascus, Virginia. So you wind your way through PA and then West Virginia, Maryland, and into Virginia. A lot of fun, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful roads, amazing scenery everywhere. And Kathy did a parallel route because she's got her Riker, which is a 3-wheeled motorcycle, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Not really designed to go the same places that I was going to be on with the dirt roads and stuff. So she paralleled the trip. We used an app to keep track of each other when we could. Able to meet up for lunch a couple times, have dinner a couple times. Worked out really well. She was very good with navigation. She got everywhere she needed to go. We always met up. They never had any problems, and I hated it, and I'm never doing it again.
I wasn't expecting that.
I couldn't stand. I
He's
couldn't stand. Could not stand not knowing where she was.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't
Get
do
that.
it. Couldn't
Get
do
that.
it. Will not do it again. Unless we get a friend of ours to go with us, in which case they'd ride together and we could do it that way.
Right. So she was not riding by herself.
Right.
Yeah.
Her by herself, you know, she's incredibly intelligent. She's a very good rider. I wasn't worried about any of that. I'm just worried about everybody else. You
Right.
know? And if I'm there, it's one thing. Doesn't mean something bad's not going to happen. It just means I'm going to be there, and either we're going to be in it together, or one of us is going to be able to walk away from it and take care of the other one. You know, whatever. It's just not knowing. It was tough. So got through it. We did have a really good time. So, I mean, you know, that was eating back into my head, but still, it was a very good time. She had a good time. She's been talking about it nonstop since we got back. So it was great. While we're on the trip, a buddy of mine bought a Spider. Now, a Spider is the larger version of what Kathy has. Kathy has a Riker. The Spider is the larger version, both made by the company Bombardier Recreational Products. Their subsidiary, Can-Am, makes both of these products. The Spider's larger, like I say, bigger engine, bigger frame, bigger chassis, the whole bit. It's my buddy Rob. You guys have met him. We snowmobile together, and he's talked about getting something for a while. And he decided that he was going to do it. And he went out, he researched the one he wanted. He went to find one because he'd never actually seen one up close and personal. Found one dealer in New York State that had one in Buffalo. Drove there, saw it, sat on it, bought it.
Wow.
And he just brought it home Tuesday. So he's got it at his house.
Awesome.
So so 2 things, very cool things. Last thing is one of the projects that I had to put on hold. The ground just wasn't ready, and there was just a lot of stuff going on. I didn't get it done before I left. I put a raised bed garden planter in the front yard. Now, it's not just one of those ones you put on the ground, you know, and it's got a couple sides on it, and you know, you put some soil in it. I actually wanted it elevated because I want it so that we can continue to use it as we get older and really make good use out of it. We've had very, 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 very good success with the pots we've had on the deck the last few years. So what I wanted was a garden that I could manage and maintain easily, you know, keep watered easily, keep weeds out of easily, and access easily. So I built a 4x8 box, and I put it on 4 4x4s in the ground, kind of where my old garden was, which was basically in front of the deck, where the deck is now. I'd had a garden in the ground, but I couldn't keep the soil sweet, so so we abandoned that for the pots. So my intention is to take better care of the soil that's going in this and Kathy's laying out. She's got her plans for what plants we're going to put in there. We still don't have it filled with soil yet, so we're a little bit behind on that. But I've got some plans on being able to catch up. So some special fertilizer mixtures that I've got that should help us catch up. So that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And what we normally do, if anybody's missed this in the past, what we normally do is we do vegetables. We do different kinds of vegetables. This will give us an opportunity to do more, a bigger variety. We like to have stuff we can, so tomatoes and what else would she can that we're gonna grow? Oh, peppers, hot peppers, jalapenos, things like that. So she likes to can those things. So if we have enough, we'll do that. She'll mix, she'll do the raw tomatoes if she has enough of those. But regardless, we're gonna have some good veggies. We're gonna have some fun with that, and that is in. I don't have all the soil in it yet, but for the most part, it's done. So very, very happy. 3 things. That are just going really, really well right now. So very happy.
Outstanding.
So Kev, I'm looking at the BDR here that you went on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go out to like the College of St. Mary's, or did you go the other way? Because there's 2. Like there's the St. Mary's State College, and then there's one that goes. I don't know. There's 2 that branch out there.
So what happened is there's some other really cool stuff that happened with the BDR. So the BDR organization has 3 routes right now for those of us that live in the eastern United States. They have the Northeast BDR, which goes from the Canadian border,
Maine to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. That's what I did last summer.
Yeah.
They have one in northern Pennsylvania, which is in the Alleghenies, which is a circular route. It's 4 days, 500 miles, 4 sections. 500 miles.
Okay, that's
the
loop. What that is.
That's the BDRX. Okay, that's a Pennsylvania Wilds BDRX. They call it that just because it starts and stops in the same place. Or you can do it.
Right.
Do whatever you want, but it's a loop. And then they have the MA. Now, what the MA does is it actually shares kind of 2 of the sections of the BDRX. They're not exactly the same, but they do end up in some of the same places on some of the parts of it. So what you're seeing is you're seeing the BDRX, which goes all the way around, goes through St. Mary's, goes to State College, goes through Benezet, which is where the elk are. And then, but if you look at the eastern side of that, if you look at the eastern side of the X, that's the MA, and the MA goes to the east of it, and then it goes south.
Yep.
And then,
that's what I'm looking at. I was wondering if that's the one you went on.
Yep.
Oh,
I've done both. So now I've done everything that they have in the east. Since you asked, when we got when we got to Damascus, I haven't told anybody this yet, and I really haven't, kind of keeping this under my hat because I was asked to not really say too much about it. But again, here I am with a bunch of people that will probably never talk to anybody that
isn't already here.
Well, I mean,
we don't travel in that world. Yeah,
right. I mean, it doesn't matter who you talk to or who you tell. The bleed over isn't gonna hurt anything. 2 of the guys from the BDR organization were there in Damascus. They had just finished running the soon to be released SE BDR, which is going to go from the Gulf of Mexico to Damascus, Virginia.
Okay.
So they have just connected the Gulf of Mexico to Canada, which you can do on 90% dirt roads.
Wow.
Trails.
That's pretty cool.
So for morons like me that like taking motorcycles in places they shouldn't, it's the ideal thing.
And I mean, that's how you get to the coast during a zombie apocalypse.
Sure.
Or get north. You take the dirt roads.
Sure, exactly. I just can't say enough. You're at the top of these ridges, and I mean, yeah, it's a lot of back and forth, a lot of switchbacks, but the views, oh my God, it's so beautiful all the way through there. A lot of the stuff you can access with a Jeep, not your Jeep, Paul, but a real Jeep.
Watch me.
Our Patriots can do it. Yeah, we can do this. There goes our bumper, though.
I am kidding. You guys could do most of it.
Not us, but somebody else.
Somebody.
Good.
Sure. Just make sure you have enough food and water with you, because otherwise, God forbid. But no, it's so cool that they do this. they do it in a way that allows you to do one section a day and have a place where you can stop and enjoy yourself, nice place to stay, nice place to eat, beautiful scenery along the way, nice little side excursions to see things. So they spend a lot of time curating these routes so that you actually have a very, very good time and other things to do other than just ride. So I have to give them huge kudos for the work they do. And I really respect them for it. And, when I retire, or maybe before that, I'm hoping that maybe I can volunteer for the BDR and maybe do some of this stuff.
Cool.
So, Kev, would you? I'm looking at this. There's stuff out on the West Coast too.
Yeah,
I'd
like to.
Would you like to go out and do those too?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay.
Yep, I'd like to. Hopefully someday before I'm too crippled.
All right. Moving on. We have the Corbett twins, right?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, okay, mine's kind of real quick.
We're triplets.
Yeah, triplets. Mine is my son went to his junior prom. So he had a really good time. Just him and his buddies. The three of them didn't have dates, so they just went together. The three of them. They had a really good time. Dressed up. My son I bought him a suit. He wanted something kind of specific to wear, so I bought him kind of what he wanted to wear.
Which I thought was bold that he went with the whole Dumb and Dumber powder blue. That was great.
Oh, I was hoping it was pink.
No, it was orange.
That was awesome.
Oh, you're
my
right.
favorite
I picked the wrong
color.
one.
Yeah. So it was down at the Embassy Suites down by Carousel Mall.
Cool.
I brought the kids down there, him and his two buddies. I was the chauffeur to bring them down there. One of the other fathers picked them up from there, took them to an after party at a friend of theirs' house. And then he got home close to 2.
Ooh, nice.
So, I mean, yeah, he had a pretty good time. And then last weekend we started learning how to drive.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I took him up to the junior over Memorial Day weekend because obviously there would be nobody at the school on the weekend. I took him up in the parking lot, let him kind of drive at the junior high.
There's one less light pole now.
No, there's no light poles there, thank God, because I had him get in the car and I had him drive straight forward, and he had issues like everybody does, and everybody will understand this, is when you push the gas pedal, you don't know the pressure to put on the gas pedal to go.
Oh, milkshake.
It wasn't even a milkshake, man. He hit the gas pedal. We were fucking cruising. I had to hit the brake because we were heading for the grass. I'm like, hit the brakes, and he hit the brakes, and the car slid a little bit. And I'm like, all right, not a big deal. So I said, okay, and put it in park. And I'm like, okay, let's go backwards now. So he put the car in reverse. Same thing. Stepped on the gas pedal, and now we're heading for the science department at the school, the technology department at the school. And I'm like, dude, hit the brakes again. We're flying. I'm like, hit the brakes. In reverse, he got the car to squeal. In reverse.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Oh God.
Corbs, I do have a question for you real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Paul, get rid of Corbs sports section for the next couple months and call Driving with Bryce with a GoPro attached to Corbs' head.
Yes.
And literally like, hit the brakes, man. Give DC the sports topic. Give Corbs Driving with Bryce for the next couple weeks.
Not Driving with Bryce. The Bryce and the Furious.
That's right. Wait a minute, Sean, are you driving in Mom's car?
Yes.
That's the worst car. That car has so much power in that car.
I know it does.
Jesus, you know what? Next time before you go, make sure you put on a pair of Depends.
You should have wore the brown pants.
That's right.
You should have wore the brown
pants. Or like George Carlin said, it doesn't matter. You know, your mother always said you should always put on clean underwear. It doesn't matter whether they're clean or not, because first you say it and then you do it. Oh, shit.
Right.
Next time we record, you'll be like, I'm Corbs and I'm still alive.
So we did that a couple times back and forth, and you know, he was nervous and stuff like that. I'm like, look, everybody goes through that. You don't know the pressure of the gas pedal. It's different in every car.
Yep.
Oh. And he's like, okay, he was kind of scared after that. I mean, I didn't yell at him, we had a good time with it. We laughed, we joked. And I said, this is the reason why we're doing it in an open parking lot.
Right.
You can't hit anything. There's no other cars around. It's just
anything except the science department, apparently.
And a light bulb.
or the softball field in front of us. So
Yeah. Well, when I learned how to drive, I was driving with Mom one day, and I'm driving, and she's yelling at me that I go too fast, and she yelled really loud, and I hit the brakes, and I almost skidded into a garbage truck because she yelled at me. Not Tom, just yelled at me, And then when Dad took me to try to learn how to drive a stick shift or anything like that, after I turned him into a milkshake for like 20 minutes, he goes, "Okay, we're going home." I'm about to throw up.
Right.
So.
Yeah, or it could be like Katie when she learned how to drive. She was coming off of 81 in Cicero, and went to make a right, and never hit the brakes.
Oh.
Through a red light.
Oh my God!
Yeah, with Mom in the car. Mom was like, "That's it, I'm done. Your brother can teach you."
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we won't tell too many Katie stories about driving because we got a couple.
I bet. There's a whole new podcast there.
Yeah, right.
There's a whole new section for my sister driving. So
poor girl can't even defend herself here. Come on.
No. And she beat our asses too. We tortured that girl as kids.
Oh.
Like bad. I'm surprised she still speaks to us. I really am.
It's true. So I'm all done.
All right, DC, what's got you geeked?
Well, since I've been in this hospital for 5 weeks, what's got me geeked is the possibility of leaving this hospital. Now, my first choice of places to go, I can't go because I have to wear a wound vac. I have pictures. If you guys want me to post them out there, I will. I got 3 pictures of the wound on my leg.
I sent you one picture, didn't I? Or did you decline me when I asked?
I declined very quickly. I was like,
turning stomachs. Is that what that is with you guys?
I'll do it. I can do it.
All right. No, I can send it to you, Jack. I got you on my messages. But anyway.
Send it to Hugh too. He said he might be interested.
It goes along with the wound goes along with my shark attack story. If I don't know who you are and you ask me what happened, I give you a shark attack story. I was attacked by a shark. So it goes along with that. But
when you see the wound, you'll understand what he's talking about.
You'll understand. I came in with like a little sore on the side of my leg, and they opened up the whole side of my leg. So, yeah. So the first place I wanted to go, they can't do the wound vac. So we have to do a couple more places. If those places don't have any beds, I get to go. I'm going to go home to my house. The wound vac that I take home is the size of a small tissue box. The one I have now looks like like if you got to jump your car and it's just a jump pack, like the old style jump packs, the big ones. That's the size of my wound vac now. It goes everywhere I have to go. But if I get to go home this week, there's no beds or anything. That's when it will happen. It should happen hopefully by the weekend, maybe Monday. So if they send me home with that small wound vac and I can figure out how to get up Luke's stairs, I will be at the next Dungeons and Dragons session. If I can't, I won't. But getting out of the hospital has me geeked. Possibly getting a haircut and shaving off all of my facial hair has me geeked. And the fact that I saw a new video games comes out 6 days before my birthday, College Football 25.
Nice.
And I've been watching all of the stuff on YouTube about the game. So that has me geeked. So that's what's got me geeked in the last 5 weeks. What didn't have me geeked is the reason that I came in. Apparently, according to everybody that I talked to, I was hours away from never playing Dungeons and Dragons again. Hours. So having a near-death experience has kind of changed my outlook. Not my outlook on Dungeons and Dragons. I will always do that. And you want to know the funny thing? One of my physical therapists, she plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
So, yeah. She was asking me all these questions, and I was like, how the hell do you? So then I just had to ask. I said, "Do you play?" She's like, "I've been playing for like 10 years." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So then we started talking while I was working out, and she's a dungeon master. She plays a changeling rogue when she's a player. So yeah, she's into it big time.
Very cool.
Nice.
And somebody took the dice out of my bag, and I'm not happy. So I could be sitting here just at least rolling to make sure that I'm still in good hands when I come back.
He's practicing his rolls.
Right, practicing my rolls.
As I just rolled a 1. Perfect.
Right.
Those
And
aren't
just so-
dice. Get your hands off of them.
and just so you guys know, I haven't forgot. Today is Wednesday. Today is Dollar Cheeseburger Day, and my mother was supposed to come up here to see me today and bring me her famous macaroni salad and dollar cheeseburgers, and she never made it, so she wasn't feeling. So I'm a little upset. But my dad did bring me a sandwich from Brooklyn Pickle, so I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can't
So
go
that's
wrong
what's got
with
me geeked, boys.
that. Outstanding. Well, I guess I'll wrap up this segment. What's got me geeked is the latest announcement for Sci-Fi Horror Fest 2024. As of June 1st, they just announced that Linnea Quigley of Return of the Living Dead, Jesus, I suck, fame will be gracing us with her presence for the weekend there. That should be a good time. Hugh can probably speak to who she is more than I can, but
Yeah.
at least I recognize the name, which is better than most of the horror icons that everybody talks about. And I'm like, so
Yeah.
Hugh.
Linnea Quigley, if anyone remembers Return of the Living Dead, this is the first Living Dead movie where they were like, brains. There's all those punk rock kids in the graveyard that they're partying, and there's the one girl that takes all of her clothes off and dances around. That's Linnea Quigley. And then
Okay.
she gets turned into a zombie and proceeds to, eat people for the rest of the movie completely naked.
Outstanding.
Oh,
Outstanding.
okay.
Yeah.
Naked zombies.
Absolutely. Naked zombies. You can't beat that.
She's
Well,
11,
Unless
she's
it's
11 years
zombie
older than I
strippers.
am.
For a lot of, I think, horror fans who were young at that time, that may have been the first set of boobs we saw.
Good possibility.
All right.
Outstanding.
I'm looking at photos right now.
Okay.
Just kidding.
He's looking at modern ones with her
Right.
reenacting her scenes.
Right.
All right, so guys, even though it's getting into summertime and this usually dwindles at this point, what are you playing?
I'll go first.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm not playing anything right now, but when I get to play my Xbox, I will be playing NHL 24. Just downloaded it, but my son told me about a new game, and I can't remember the name of it, that he downloaded. You get it for free on Xbox Game Pass, and it's sort of like Call of Duty, but what it is it's factions of the game, The Division, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. There's like 5 different factions from 5 games made by Ubisoft, and you play team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint, just like you would at Call of Duty, but it's just those factions.
Cool.
So they might be adding more, but he told me about that, so I'll be playing that too, and obviously College Football 25, because that's what I'm getting for my birthday.
Outstanding.
DC,
So-
wasn't it pretty cool though in the trailer for college football? You saw Syracuse actually have a highlight and they actually did
Yes.
something.
Yes,
I
that was
was like,
cool.
wow.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
That was.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. We've been waiting for a college football game for 11 years.
Yep. Years.
Wow.
11 years. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they
That's what-
stopped.
the last one came
They
out-
stopped making it because the players, the kids, wanted to get paid.
Wanted to get paid.
The school, the company, the schools were making money off of their
Likenesses.
likeness.
Mhm.
Right. So now with name, image, and likeness, they've gone to all the players. Some said no, like Archie Manning's grandson at Texas said no, but a lot of guys said yes. So you're going to be able to use players, real players from SU. So and stuff,
Outstanding.
Alabama and whoever. Yeah. So I can't wait.
That's cool.
So actually, I played one game this past week, and it wasn't a board game or a computer game. It was a drinking game. So I had a couple of my buddies over and we wanted to play beer darts. Have you guys ever played that game before?
Most people just call that darts.
Right.
So, all right. So we have the real darts, and you put the beer can between your legs, and you throw it at the beer can, and you have to. If you hit the beer, you have to drink the beer, basically. So you have to make sure yours stays intact the whole time. So I had just like you're throwing darts at the beer can, you watch them explode. If it hits the beer can, you have to chug the beer and all that stuff. So my buddies and I were playing it. I had maybe 3 friends over. Then the neighbor I borrowed the lawnmower from. Oh, what are you playing? He comes over. I'm like, holy shit. And then my neighbor that I helped open the pool, he's like, oh, you guys playing a game? He comes over. And then like literally I'd have like maybe 10 dudes in my backyard playing beer darts. I'm like, okay, I was just having a couple friends over. We were just drinking and we're like, let's play some beer darts and just have a fun game. And then it turns out to be the whole neighborhood is playing beer darts in my backyard.
I think that movie popped up on Reddit at one point as an advertisement.
What, beer darts? What? I don't know. No. Oh,
Wait. So you put a beer can between your own legs and then throw darts at it?
it's a total redneck type game.
Like holding it between your legs?
No.
Oh, okay. This is
Okay, that's what
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
that's,
no.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
That's
too.
what I was
Like,
thinking.
you're clutching, like the
shit,
beer
no.
can is protecting your junk, and people are
that
throwing
would
sharp darts
suck.
at you.
No, you're just letting it chill at the bottom of your feet, and then you're.
Oh, so like you're standing over it.
Yes,
I
you're
got
standing
you.
over it.
Now, are
Wait.
you allowed to try and like ninja kick the darts away to protect your beer?
I mean, if you want to, but they're metal darts. That would probably stick in your
Right
leg.
in the ankle.
Hey, I don't have anything to worry about. I only got one.
Exactly. So this might be a good game for you, DC.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
But it's just like I said, like I just want to have a couple friends over, and it turns out to be the whole fucking neighborhood is coming over to play beer darts in my backyard.
There you go. Impromptu parties are always the best.
They really are.
All right. I don't have a specific game, but I started dabbling around a little bit more with the available pinball apps on my mobile phone, because I have a pretty powerful mobile phone. And then I decided it was time to upgrade my tablet. And I just got the case today, but I picked up the new Amazon Fire HD 11 Max. You can't see it.
No, that's your hand.
No, what is it?
It's
Oh,
the
now he sees part of it.
HD Fire 11 Max.
Can you turn the screen off?
That's very bright.
Just lock it or something.
No,
There
he's
you
talking
go.
about
There you
your.
go.
Yeah.
No,
But,
that's fine. That's fine.
Anyway, it's because I had a Fire that I had just for fucking around with stuff and reading, and it wasn't powerful enough. So this has an octa-core processor and 4 gigs of RAM. Runs Zen Pinball, Williams Pinball, all those apps pretty well. But it also runs like a VPX 10.8. That's the virtual visual pinball X, the one that I use from the computer on my actual virtual pinball machine. They have a standalone version now that runs on Android, and it runs on my phone. It runs on here. It's a little slow, but I'm going to try to optimize it. And this is all beta anyway. But the fact that they've managed to take something that I had to buy a computer to run 6 months ago is now running on Android phones is pretty impressive. That it's even playable. But
That's
it's
cool.
kind of nice now because I mean they even though they're updating all their apps and everything this year, they're coming out with a bunch of new stuff. The stuff that's out there is pretty damn good already. I mean, these are the same versions of tables that I play on my VPN, just in a mobile version. And sometimes that's easier. Sometimes, especially if you're on the toilet or sitting on the couch watching something really fucking boring. It's been nice to play around.
Very cool.
That's cool.
All right.
So basically, you have pinball everywhere at this point.
I have pinball fucking everywhere,
Right.
He's got
except in Massachusetts, because I couldn't find a single machine.
and all of his friends come over and play with his pinballs.
I don't have any friends. You're my friends, you guys. If you are my friends, I don't know.
No.
Yes, we are, Hugh. At least I am.
But yeah,
I'll be
you
your friend.
guys are it. I had one other friend and he got fired today. So
Oh.
Fuck,
Oh,
that
geez.
sucks. As long as it's not me, I'm good.
Not yet.
All right.
Not
right.
yet.
Well, I've been working on it. Trust me. got told something while I was away, and I got a little bit incensed over it. But never mind. Don't worry about it. I
Did he cut
fixed
that
it.
part? Jesus.
I fixed it.
He's not with us anymore. He gone.
So Fallout 4. I'm almost level 40, and I have learned a lot. Hugh, did you know that you can make adhesive and thereby end up with more than you could ever use?
I did not, because I don't do the grafting.
So one of the, if you follow the threads, the forums, whatever, one of the big things everybody's always saying is, I can't get enough adhesive. I can't build all the mods. Well, the one thing you don't like to do, Hugh, besides modding, is developing communities. When you have a community, you have food that you're growing, and you have people that tend the food. One of the things you can grow is mut fruit. You take mut fruit and corn, was another thing you can grow, along with a couple other things, and you can make this starch. For every one starch you make, you get 5 adhesive. And adhesive is used in almost every single mod you're going to do, no matter whether it's armor or a weapon, doesn't matter what it is. So all of a sudden, I don't have a problem with adhesive. I've got 5,000 plus units of adhesive. I can't get enough aluminum. So I take all the stuff that I find and take and steal and whatever, pick up, and I go sell it for shipments of aluminum. And that's how I get my aluminum, so I can make my mods. Hugh, and you were, what level are you at, or were you at?
Oh, I have no idea.
No idea. How many suits of armor did you have? How many power armor suits did you have?
I mean, I probably just had the first one I found. I put it on the rack at the starting town and left it there because I don't use power armor.
So I collect them, apparently. I have 15 different power armor
Jesus
suits.
Christ.
I mean,
Jesus,
they're cool, but I like this. I like the combat shotgun, you know, and that's not really, you know, you lose some speed when you put on the power armor. Yeah, you gain a lot of protection, but I prefer to be faster on my feet.
You're right. No, I'm right there with you. So there's 2 reasons. There's 2 ways. There's 2 ways that I complete missions. One is sneaky silent, you know, sneak up on them and try to get the kill shots, you know, first shot, first kill, so nobody knows where you are. So that's the first way. The second way is that if I'm not really sure what's going on, I'll put me and my companion in power armor suits, and we'll go in with the biggest weapons I have. I'll equip her because I like Kate. I end up with Kate as my companion that I've liked the most of all the ones, because I had Strong, which was the superhuman. I had the dog, you know, dog meat. I had some mercenary guy. He was a dork. I can't stand being around him, so I sent him away. So I got Kate out of the combat field. So how was it called? Some kind of combat arena. And I've kept her because she's freaking hilarious. She's always freaking like needling you and shit. So like when you want to go hand her stuff, because you can hand your companion stuff to carry, you go to hand her stuff, she goes, "Oh, I thought you wanted to snuggle." It's hilarious.
Nice.
It just
Nice.
makes me funny. It just makes me laugh. But no, I've been having a really good time with it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time with this, and I've got my little Red Rocket gas station all built up. I've got walls all around it. I've got all sorts of people manning it. I've got laser turrets and shotgun turrets, and nobody, even Death Claws, can't get into my little community. They just get blasted away. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Nice.
That's what I'm playing.
Standing. I haven't really had much time to play anything. I did download the first DLC for WWE 2K24. Added in the characters to my universe modes, and immediately put Punk into the world title mix. As of last check, he has not injured himself
yeah.
Well, that's a miracle.
yet. But that's all I've got for gaming. it's the wrong time of year to be able to spend a lot of time gaming. So, on that note, I think we ought to throw it right over to Kev's tabletop review.
All right, so for tonight, I have a game for you called Skull King. Now, this is a card game. It's actually a trick-taking game. I'm going to show you, try to show you how small the box is. Let's just see if I can get this up here and show you. Kind of a small box, right? There's been a lot of different iterations of this game, and this is by Grandpa Beck's Grandpa Beck's Games. But it's gone under a lot of different names, and it's gone through a lot of different iterations. This particular version I have was given to me by a good friend of the show, Luke. He was downsizing some of his game collection, and he handed this to me, still in the wrapper. I'm not sure if he had a chance to play this version or if he played a previous version, but he did say that he liked it a lot, so I'm absolutely positive he's played it before. So the idea is that if you know how to play spades, you already know how to play this game. There are 4 different colors, all numbered cards, with the black numbered cards being the trump suit. What makes this game different are all the other special cards that go along with it. Pirates, mermaids, the Skull King, of which there's only one, and a few other special cards. I urge you to watch the playthrough that I do with my wife after I tell you a little bit about the game here. It's a very fun game. Like I say, it has extra features built into the game, so you can play the base game and then add the extra features in for a more expanded, more fun time that keeps changing the game and makes it more interesting and different every single time you play it. There's also different rules with how you collect points. So these are things you want to think about as you read the instructions and as you look at the game. So what do we have for details about the game? 2 to 8 players. Even in the instructions and in the video reviews I've seen, they say that 8 players is probably not ideal. If you look at BoardGameGeek.com, the page I have up right now for Skull King, community says 3 to 6, best 4 to 6. And I'm going to say that's right on the money. You can play it with 2 players and you can have a lot of fun, but 3 or 4 players is really the sweet spot, and I wouldn't go any more than 6. 30-minute playtime, you can actually get through a game in about 15 to 20 minutes if you just played the base game. Ages 8 and up, very easy for someone to pick up and learn. Weight 1.71 out of 5, right in that sweet spot that I like. So very, very, very fun game, very attractive cards. Whether you find an older version or you buy the new version that's out now, you're going to be very impressed with the artwork on these cards. They're good quality. The colors are vibrant. So it makes it that much more of a pleasure to have the cards in your hand and to play the game when you're looking at something that is so nicely done. What does Board Game Geek say for pricing? It looks like we have anywhere from about eBay, $5. Oh boy, good luck. Up to about $17 on Amazon. That is a great price for this game. Because if you can find this version, there's a special little surprise inside. You have to watch the game review to find out what that is. That's my review for this show. I hope you enjoy Skull King on your own time. Tonight's playthrough is of Skull King, a Grandpa Beck's Games game. And as I found out recently, this is one of the latest iterations, and it comes with a boatload of extra features, one of which just happens to be a recipe for Rosie Delaney's blackberry pie. Boy, does that look good. And what we're going to do for you is we're going to play through a couple of hands. And a 2-player game, there is really no differences in how the game is played. Just going to jump right into it. We're going to get playing right away. The deck is already shuffled. I'm going to have the lovely Kathy cut the deck, and we will go right ahead and deal the first hand, which is 1 card each. Now we're going to look at our cards, and after looking at our cards, we're going to decide whether or not we're going to actually take a trick. So you're either going to bid 0 or 1. So this is a trick-taking game. So how we do it is we go yo, ho, ho. And we both put our fists out, which means we both intend to take 0 tricks. One of us is going to get 20 points, and one of us is going to get a negative 10. And I'm going to show you that right now. Go ahead, Kathy, and play your card. She plays a 7. I play a 1. These just happen to be the exact same color, exact same suit. Doesn't make any difference. Kathy played green. Had I played any other numbered card other than Trump's suit, I would have lost. So Kathy gets the trick. She now loses 10 points. I would have put here for her, I would have said Kathy, bid 0. She got one trick, so she loses 10 points, gets negative 10. I got my 0, and just going to refresh my memory here when in scoring. In bidding 0 and get your bid correct, your potential score is 10 points times the number of cards dealt that round. Only 2 cards were dealt. I bid a 0. I won my bid. I now have 20 points. Okay, so now we're going to shuffle through, and we're going to play again. The second round is 2 cards, okay? The lovely Kathy is going to cut the deck, and we're going to shuffle or deal out 2 cards each, set the rest of the deck aside, and we're going to yo ho ho. Kathy bids 1, I bid 0. Now what I forgot to mention was we have these handy reminder trick cards here, and notice one is 0 through 4, the other is 5 through 9. You just simply use one as a shield or block, and you can leave your number up so that you remember what you bid for that hand. Kathy is the player to my left, so she will go first. Plays a purple 5. I'm going to show you my cards here. So I have to play this card because I have the same color, and I don't have any special cards. Oh, I just told her something. That's okay. Kathy wins the trick. I don't know that she meant to do that. Now she won the trick, so she plays her first card, the next card. Kathy actually wins 2 tricks because I had neither special cards, nor did I have a higher card of the same color, and I did not have any trump cards. So Kathy gets another negative 10, so she's now at negative 20 points. I am now, having bid 0, with 4 cards being dealt, I am now at 60 points. Okay? I'm going to try to keep track of this in our heads. Going to shuffle the cards up real quick. Hopefully we'll get some of the special cards out for you. One way or another, I'm going to show you what those special cards are and show you how they work. I'm not going to artificially make them appear. I just want this to be an authentic playthrough. The game doesn't really have to go very long. Typical game goes 10 rounds. And I'm going to cut the deck. And I'm going to deal out 3 cards each. Hopefully we'll get some special cards this hand. Look at our hands. All right. Okay. Yo ho ho. Wow. This is going to get fun. One of us is going to probably get their tricks. One of us is not. Okay. So, Kathy, go ahead. You play first. Kathy plays a 3. Now, I have a couple of options here. I can make a decision on whether or not I get closer to my number of tricks, or I get further away. And how I'm going to do that is by letting that go. Kathy plays a 12, at which point I will play a pirate and take the trick. Now, it is my turn to play, and this is absolutely imperative that I play a very special card. Now, notice that was a pirate card, and a pirate card, according to our handy-dandy little guide, defeats all cards except the Skull King. So that includes mermaids, trump cards, regular numbered cards, escape cards, and the lovely tigress, who when played must be declared. I'm going to declare tigress a pirate. I can only do pirate or escape. If I wanted to lose this trick, I would declare it an escape and allow Kathy to take it, because no matter what she plays, she takes that card.
So you did pirate.
I need the trick, so I've declared pirate, and let's see what the lovely Kathy has in her hand.
That'd be a mermaid.
Kathy has a mermaid. Pirates take mermaids, correct?
Mermaids defeat all numbered cards and the Skull King.
Pirates defeat mermaids.
All cards except, so okay. Okay, so what's yours?
Hold on. Let's just check. I'm thinking that mermaids beat all numbered suits, but lose to all of the pirates, with the exception of the Skull King, who is lured by their treasure. If both mermaids end up in the same trick, the first one played wins the trick. So
that's yours.
I was able to take my tricks this hand, increasing my score to 20 more points each, with no special points in here. So I have now 80 points, and Kathy loses another 10 points, so you're at, I think it's a negative 20. Were you at 0 or negative 10?
I'm negative 30, I think.
Negative 30, okay, negative 30. All right. Oh, she actually did really good on our first playthrough, so maybe she'll make up for it on this round. Are we at 4 cards now? Okay, we're at 4 cards.
Yep.
All right, real quick here. We're gonna go ahead and split the deck, and let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Ready? Yo ho ho. Ooh. If we do this right, we could both make some serious points. All right. And Kathy will go first. Plays a 4. Ooh. I'm just going to go ahead and let that one go. 10. I'm going to take that one. Okay. Now do this one. That's a trump card, so it's a 14 and it's a trump. If she gets her points, she actually gets another 20 points for this card, because this isn't just a 14, it's the trump 14. It's the trump color 14. And for every 14 you have in your hand, when you win, if you get your tricks, you get 10 points per 14, but the trump is actually an extra 20 points. So you go ahead and go first. And look at that, we both got our tricks. Very, very, very well played. Okay. So you go ahead, you were negative 30.
Okay, so I got my...
You got both, so that's 40 points for 2 tricks. It's 20 points per trick. That's 40 points.
So I'm a positive 10.
Positive 10.
I get to add 20.
So now you're positive 30.
So I'm 30.
Okay. So I had, let's say I had 60 points. I don't remember what it was.
Probably 80. I think you were 80.
I had, okay, 80 points. And I get 40 more for 120, for 120 points. Okay. Now we're at 5, Now we're at 5. So if you know how to play spades, you probably do pretty well at this game. As long as you're okay with a few little extra twists to the game. And we're not even playing all of the twists. I'll show you what some of the other cards are at the end. We're going to do 5 cards this hand, and then I'm going to break it down and show you the extra cards. Okay. 5, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yo ho ho! Oh, boy, this ought to be interesting. All right, so I did 2, and did you do 2? I think you did 2.
Yep, I did 2.
All right.
Yep.
You go ahead and go first. Oh, and I had an 8 for that color, so I can let that go. Kathy plays an escape card. Now, so immediately I have to decide whether I want to throw a card away, so to make sure I don't take too many tricks, or allow this to just go ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a card away. This is mine anyway, so there's my first trick. And I have to play, and I will play this. You can play special cards anytime, but numbered cards, if you have the purple, you have to play the purple. You can't play a trump if you have a purple in your hand. Okay. Okay, that's my 2. Now I have to be careful.
That's me.
Kathy gets 2. This is going to be a very interesting final hand. So, with special cards like the pirates, the first pirate played in a hand always wins.
Okay.
If the pirate is the winning card, that is. So, Kathy has taken an extra trick. She's going to lose 10 points. So she goes from 30 to 20. And I'm at 120. I get another 40 points for 160 points. And if this was the end of the game, that would be the end. So let's take a look at some of these special cards. Okay, so we've seen some of the numbered cards. We've seen the escape cards. We have a mermaid card. We have pirate cards. Let's see. It's a pirate. Let's see what else we have in the deck. Okay. Fun cards. Lots of colors. Lots of fun colors. We have an escape card out already. There's the Skull King. Typically in this game, before the introduction of the mermaid, the Skull King was the card to get to beat all of the cards. There's only one of these. There are 2 mermaids. There's the second mermaid card. Another trump card. Let's see. Pirate cards, escape cards. I believe that's it in the regular deck. Okay, so this is what makes up the regular deck. Now, what else is there if we were to play on? So there are these gold coin cards, 2 of those, and they have special rules. Let's see, I gotta look up the gold coins. Sorry, I don't know in advance. Hold on. Let's see, gold coin cards. Okay, these are loot cards, okay? Loot cards. Time to get yourself some treasure, me hearties. When you play a loot card, you enter into an alliance with the player who captures it. If both of you bid correctly, you are each awarded 20 points. So that's fun. A little twist on the game. We have some of these cards, these little white cards. Now, what these are included for are so you can create your own cards. Let's say you wanted to add something special to the game, you can do that. Or let's say you lose a card, you can turn one of these into the card that was lost. So those have been included in the game just for that purpose. The next two special cards are the whale, okay? And the white whale, once hunted by whalers, the white whale now hunts any vessel that dares cross its path. The white whale affects both the special suits and numbered suits in unique ways. Special cards change to escape cards and flee in terror. So what were those special cards? Well, those were those pirates and mermaids and the other, and well, even the escape cards. Obviously, there's still escape cards. This means that the highest numbered cards, including Trump, turn white with fear. So all colors are erased. This means that the highest numbered card wins the trick. So everybody else, the Skull King, the Huntress, or whatever her name was. I forget what her name was. What was her name? The girl?
The Tigress.
Tigress. Everybody gets scared and runs away. But all the numbered cards are left and the highest numbered card wins. Okay? Now, what is this? This is the Kraken. And the Kraken and the whale are the deepest enemies. Pirates fear nothing at all except for maybe the Kraken and their in-laws. When played, the trick is destroyed entirely as the Kraken consumes all. No one wins the trick, and the cards are set aside. The next trick is led by the player to the left of whoever played the Kraken. Now, there is a feature where if both of these are played together, it's roiling waters. The Kraken and white whale are ancient rivals. When played in the same trick, they'll battle. The second one to be played wins, turning the first one played into an escape. So if the Kraken is played, but I still can play my white whale, this becomes an escape. The whale turns all numbered cards white, and the highest numbered card wins. If the Kraken is played second after the whale, then all the cards are set aside. And that is the basics of Skull King. There are expansion rules. There are ways to make this a points creating or taking masterpiece or nightmare, however you want to look at it. Very simple game, very fun game. We learned it in just a few minutes, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kev. And now stick with us, guys, and we'll be back with the news.
Talking to the stranger with the skeleton flute was his first mistake. Playing it was his second. Be careful what you wish for never meant anything to 12-year-old Sam until the night he blows into the skeleton flute and wishes for his parents to stay together. The stranger promised Sam his greatest desire, but the morning after the low, warbling note came out of the glowing flute, Sam's life has been turned upside down. His brother and sister don't exist, and his best friend doesn't know him. His parents are together and happy, but is it worth sacrificing everyone else he loves? Caught in a web of unintended consequences, Sam must try to get his old life back, despite the challenges that wait for him if he succeeds. And that means uncovering the mystery behind the strange man's identity and the skeleton flute. The Skeleton Flute hits shelves on August 27th. You can pre-order your copy now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local indie, and most major book retailers.
Hi, this is Craig Palmer. If you ever aspire to be a wrestler, come on down to Upstate Wrestling Entertainment, located at 1121 Glenwood Avenue in Niles, New York. We're open every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. Come on down and join us. See you then.
Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a key back issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
Now, before you decide to get back at your neighbor by flying 260 balloons of trash over their yard and dropping them in what is clearly a mature way to deal with your differences, here's the news. First up, the Japanese Historical Preservation Society, or as I call them, racists. Ubisoft has revealed the upcoming mainline entry in the Assassin's Creed franchise called Shadows will feature two main characters, a female shinobi and a black samurai based on real-life historical figure Yasuki. I think that's how you pronounce it. Without giving away too much of a history lesson here, Yasuki was an African who was traded or given, something like that, to Oda Nobunaga by Jesuit missionaries. Yasuki was given a house, sword, and stipend by Nobunaga, which are things bestowed upon samurai. Japanese history has long considered Yasuki to be a samurai, and the first non-Japanese one at that. While records are sparse of the time period, this seemed like settled history. Then the game was announced, and people went nuts. Cue the white man calling foul under the guise of historical accuracy and protecting Asian representation in video games. Two things. One, when the government of Japan has to have Yasuki's Wikipedia entry locked to stop people from editing it to say he was just Nobunaga's slave over and over again, you might be racist. That argument holds no water and goes against what the Japanese themselves have been saying about this figure for ages. Two, Asian representation? For fucking real? So MAGA fucker 420 with the Kid Rock haircut is suddenly all concerned with Asians being in video games, right? Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing an Asian representation in a horror game or Grand Theft Auto or any major release. But is there a lack of Asian main characters in samurai games? That's like the only place they're represented. Just in recent memory, there's been Psychro, Shadows Die Twice, Katana Zero, Samurai Warriors, Rise of the Roman, Onimusha, Way of the Samurai 2, and Ghost of Tsushima, all AAA releases that had an Asian lead. I would say they're overrepresented in samurai games, almost like Asians exist only to wield katanas in video games. That's nothing to say of the fighting games they feature heavily in as well. If Yasuki wasn't an actual African person in Japan at that time, seemingly with the same honors as a samurai, then maybe your argument of this being virtue signaling and wokeism might at least be arguable. But it isn't. You're just trash. Wiki editing, racist, bigoted trash with stupid haircuts. Next up, may the force be with me and only me. George Lucas was at Cannes this past week and had some things to say about the Star Wars franchise post-Disney sale. He stated they never used any of his ideas after the sale and was quoted as saying, "I was the only one who knew what Star Wars was, who actually knew this world because there's a lot to it. The Force, for example, nobody understood the Force. When they started the other ones after I sold the company, a lot of the ideas that were in the original sort of got lost. But that's the way it is. You give it up, you give it up." Yeah. Do you mean they misunderstood it from the original trilogy where it was space magic, or when you retconned the Jedi into the X-Men and the prequels? Because based solely on your body of Star Wars work, you don't seem to have a grasp on what the Force is either. But clearly they are on your master storytelling level, as we have yet to get a second Star Wars holiday special. And finally, Google me this. Have you seen the new AI-powered Google searches? Aren't they great? Glue in pizzas and the recommended daily intake of rocks for an average human being. And we thought AI was going to go all Skynet on us. it's clearly going to give bad search results and let Darwinism take the wheel. Don't forget, this is the Tide Pod generation, so anything is possible. My personal experience with it comes from our vacation to Massachusetts. During one of our mountain hikes, we ended up getting some ticks on us. First time for me, never had a tick. But when my wife Googled how to effectively check for ticks, this is what Google told her. And I quote, and I have a picture of this right from Google. After outdoor activity, inspect yourself and your children for ticks. You can check your legs and behind your knees by twisting and pushing your junk to the left and right. If you find a tick crawling on you, brush it off. Needless to say, my wife and daughter now have Lyme disease as they had no junk to push aside. Thanks, Google. And that's the news, kids. Now, before I go, I want to touch on the AI searches thing again. I mean, I get that using AI to find the most popular search results or using your previous searches to try to figure out what you're looking for. I like it when I'm doing multiple searches and both myself and Google are getting closer to what I'm looking for by working together. But why on earth does AI need to create actual content here? I'm searching for something that already exists. AI doesn't need to create it. Like, let's say I want a recipe. I want an actual recipe someone has actually cooked and actually eaten before. And they exist right there on the internet. Googlebot, who's never tasted a damn thing, let alone a pecan pie, does not need to guess at what might be in a pecan pie, even if it's funny when it suggests 2 cups of urine and 3 empty cans of vegetables. But that's hilarious until 15-year-olds start showing up at urgent care with aluminum poisoning and smelling like piss. We don't need this, Google. You are now basically a toddler looking at pictures in a book and making up your own story. We have enough of that on cable news. Paul?
In other news, naked means to be unprotected, while nude means to be unclothed. Back to you, Corbs.
I know, right?
I don't know where he comes up with this shit, but
How do you follow that?
you don't. I'm just have to get. I guess I'm gonna have to get nude.
That would
I need to
definitely
start
be
getting paid for this shit.
I feel naked.
I am naked.
There you go.
and I want a pecan pie.
Hold
I
the
want
piss.
2 cups of I want
Exactly.
I want 2 cups of urine and 3 empty cans of vegetables, but I don't have 2 cups of urine. I got about 1.5 on my table.
I'm gonna go throw up.
All right, so sports.
Fart!
There's not really I mean, you got the NBA playoffs. You got the Celtics swept the Pacers. They're in the NBA Finals. They're waiting on the winner of the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Mavs are up 3-1.
Yep.
And their games tonight, right, Dan?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, because it's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, they played last night. I was not happy.
Yeah. Yeah, because Timberwolves won last night. Mavs
Yes, they did.
didn't get the sweep.
No.
So I mean, it's cool. I like Luka. Luka's I like him. As Danny knows, when I play basketball, I'm very much a pass first guy. I don't really shoot a lot. That's why guys.
Best teammate ever.
That's why guys like playing with me because, and I have good vision when I play basketball. So guys like everybody likes playing with me because I don't shoot. I pass a lot. I play good defense, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. NHL, I'm not watching anymore because the Canucks lost. They lost Game 7, which is good. Danny and I were texting for a little bit. When they went down 3-0, I said, "Well, this is over with," and I went to bed. They lost 3-2. They did come back. They've been doing that. They did that a lot this postseason, coming back, being down, coming back, and winning. But like I said to Danny, the first period they got outshot 12-2. I mean, it was just Edmonton was all over the place, and it was tough to watch. So I kind of, after they got down 3-0, I was like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm going to bed." And of course, Vancouver, they're on the West Coast. They play at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. So it's tough to do that and have to get up to go to work in the morning. I did do it once. I watched the whole game.
And you were a bag of shit at work the next day, right?
No, I was definitely a bag of shit at work, but that's a different story. Actually, I have up ESPN right now, it looks like the Stars and the Oilers are tied 2-2 after one. So that's pretty cool. I don't know I don't know the other series. I know it's Florida and
2-2.
Is it that one 2-2 also? That one 2-2? Okay.
Florida won last night
Okay.
in overtime.
All right.
Third game in a row, fourth game in a row in overtime. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like I said, I'm not even really paying attention anymore. Because for me it's golf season. I'm out golfing on the weekends. So my sports is going to be. I heard yesterday, which kind of shocked me, that one of the faces of the LPGA is retiring early. She's only 29, and that kind of upset me a little bit because I do like watching the women golfers.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I like them because they're actual golfers. They're not just out there like, I watched a video yesterday where Bryson DeChambeau hit a drive 400 and something yards. His ball speed was 192 miles an hour. I mean, if you just watch him swing, he swings so violently. It's crazy, So I like watching the girls play because they have to play smarter. They're not as long hitters. So I like watching them play, and Kev likes watching them play for a different reason. I don't disagree with Kev's reason. There are a lot of girls out there very attractive. The girl that I enjoy watching play, who's retiring, is Lexi Thompson. She has been playing professional golf since she was 12 years old. She joined the tour. She's been on the tour 17 years, something like that. She's the youngest person to ever qualify for the Women's U.S. Open, or second youngest. I take that back. Second youngest. She was 12 years old when she first qualified for the U.S. Open, and she's been playing ever since. So, and she's cited some exhaustion, and she just kind of basically said, you don't understand what we go through on a weekly basis playing golf. She's one of the more liked players on the tour. She even with fans, like, she will stand and give autographs to everybody. So if you're sitting around and she's out giving autographs, she will give autographs to everybody who's there. She doesn't leave. She just signs the autographs for everybody. She's very personable. So, when she said she was retiring at the end of the year, I kind of was like, man, that sucks. That's the one reason why I like watching golf. I like to see how she does. She hasn't been playing well the past couple of weeks. So the U.S. Open, Women's U.S. Open is this weekend. So starts tomorrow. So I'll probably watch a little bit when I get home. And this weekend, I'll have it on this weekend when I'm not playing golf. So, but I played golf 3 times. I played golf 3 times over the weekend. I played Saturday, and then my buddy and I played on Sunday. Justin and I played on Sunday, and then I went and played 9 holes by myself on Monday morning. I got up. It was supposed to rain. I was supposed to have tee times at the Turning Stone, but it was supposed to rain all day, so we canceled the tee times. And when I got up at 6:30, it wasn't raining out, so I was like, well, fuck it. Just got up and jumped in the shower. I texted my buddy. I said, I'm heading to the course. Going to try to get in some golf before it rains. Excuse me. He decided not to join me, so I just went by myself and played 9 holes. I shot the best round I shot ever. So I was only 4 over for 9 holes. So
very nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty nice. And the day before, I played pretty well with Justin and I were playing. I've been YouTubing videos on how to change my golf swing and make my golf swing better, and it has worked, surprisingly, because the other guy that we play with, Mark, he has all the gadgets. He's got like you got the TrackMan, which is something that tracks your ball speed and rotation and all that stuff. He's got a net in his backyard that he swings and hits into. He takes lessons, and he's still like all over the place, and I watch one video and I try to incorporate that into my golf game, and it has worked. So it's nice to see it coming around a little bit. So that's really got me excited for the rest of the golf season. So, but other than that, I ain't got much,
All right.
So unless you want to talk some wrestling.
Wrestling.
right now there isn't a whole lot to discuss.
Thank you.
Becky Lynch hasn't re-signed yet, so she's taking some time off from what we hear. All ego, Ethan Page made his NXT debut last night, which I think for the first time ever actually made me excited for NXT.
Did he debut as himself?
Yes. Yes, he did. I didn't see it. I just saw all the news reports, and they're all referring.
I was watching NXT last night because I didn't have cornhole last night, and I did see, is it Jordana, whatever her name
Jordana
is?
Grace.
Yeah, I saw her
Jordan.
come out. She's going to be challenging Roxanne Perez
Yes.
for the title. I know there were some rumors out there that they thought maybe that was going to be Alexa Bliss coming back to challenge her for the title.
We're not going to see Alexa until the Uncle
Howdy
Howdy
comes back.
thing.
Yeah, Uncle Howdy comes back.
Although rumor has it that they may have panned right by her Monday night during a backstage segment. Yes.
I read something this week that kind of bothered me. And I don't know if it was Sports Kita or any of the other, jackasses who think they know what's going on and not wrestling all the time. But they were complaining about the fact that there isn't a good opponent for Cody Rhodes right now. Cody shouldn't be champion. There's not enough to do with him, all this. And it's got me thinking, okay? And I spent at least an entire shower thinking about this. So this is somewhat well thought out. All right. We have two belts.
Spend the shower?
Well, I don't know, 20 minutes. We have two titles that are supposed to be equal in stature, correct?
Right. Correct.
Why can't Damian Priest headline a PLE? Why can't he?
I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be Cody Rhodes has some big fight every single month for the PLE. It doesn't always have to be him. In the old days, the champion only wrestled like 4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They built for 3 months, built it up, and had one of the big 4 pay-per-views, and then he had a match. I like Cody Rhodes, and I think that he is in a good place. They need a superhero that they can rely on. We need the opposite of what we had. With Roman Reigns, we had the best bad guy. We need to have the best good guy. And Cody, I think, is uniquely positioned to be like the next Hulk Hogan, let's say, in that vein of babyface. But if you, in this day and age, if you want to keep that going, I think you need to pull it back. You need to let some other people shine. We look at everything we've got going on. Drew McIntyre deserves to have a belt on him. CM Punk probably will get one just because he's CM Punk. There are so many people in the title crowd right now. And I guess if you're going to focus on Cody Rhodes headlining every PLE, then it is a little bleak. But mix it up a little bit. Let something happen organically. Let's build a story that's 3 months long, and all of a sudden Chad Gable versus Cody Rhodes seems like the fucking great match for a PLE. It doesn't seem like it right now, but there's a lot of matches in recent memory that didn't seem like they'd be a good match 6 months ago, and they've made it work. So I guess that's my thoughts on it. I would really hate to see these ridiculous fans ruin something cool, because we haven't had a hero like that in wrestling in a really long time. And even if you look back at some of the people who we might call heroes, they were anti-heroes.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the last time we had anybody like this was John Cena, and he spent the last half of his career losing to other people. It just didn't tarnish him,
Right. No, he was putting people over. That's what he did.
Exactly. They have a chance to do something here they haven't done since the 80s. Thoughts? Anybody?
Well, one of my thoughts, sorry to jump in. One of my thoughts is one of the wrestlers that you mentioned, like CM Punk. Like before he left, took his ball home like a little girl and, went home, he was that guy. People love to hate him. But the thing about it is for the last 10 years, every single arena that you go into, they chanted his name. Always. So if you put the belt on him, the story was supposed to actually be, he was supposed to win the Royal Rumble, but he got hurt during the Royal Rumble. He tore his tricep right off the bone during the match and finished.
Uh-oh.
And he was supposed to face Seth Rollins and beat Seth Rollins, not Drew McIntyre. I like the fact that Seth CM Punk is messing with Drew McIntyre. I find it hilarious. But the thing about like with CM Punk, what he does, because I just watched him in an interview with Ariel Lawani, and it was amazing. And the reason he left AEW is because AEW is not about selling tickets or merchandise or whatever. They're not about making money. And his name makes money. No matter where he is, it makes money. And the WWE is definitely about making money. Putting the strap on him is only going to make more money. More of his merchandise will sell. So once he's cleared, and I don't think he's cleared just yet, the storyline will obviously be him and Drew. Drew might beat Damian Priest, and then CM Punk will beat Drew. And then
I would argue that CM Punk sells as much merchandise as he will, whether he has the belt on him or not.
Oh,
it doesn't change any of what you said.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
he
not.
needs it. He doesn't.
No, he doesn't need it. But I think that for one of the things that he talked about, and he couldn't talk about it much, was when he discussed with Triple H how it all came together. He signed his contract the morning of Survivor Series, and then he appeared on TV. So that was always going to be the plan. The plan was for him to headline one of the nights of WrestleMania, which would have been the first night against Seth Rollins in the main event. But he got hurt. So during Royal Rumble. So putting the strap on him, yes, he'll keep selling more merchandise. But the thing about it is that, you know, they're breaking records now with selling out arenas, and you didn't hear that before. And the arenas that they've sold out are the ones where he's going to appear at least in the ring with a mic in his hand. Those are the ones that are selling out. He is still relevant. So he'll still be relevant, but I think making him a champion again and having him headline WrestleMania at some point, it won't be next year or the next year in Las Vegas. But I think that putting it on him is good for business. I mean, even though they're making billions of dollars, it still will be more beneficial for business. Business will jump even more by putting the title on him and letting him headline or fight for the title at WrestleMania and win it. Headline the WrestleMania and win it.
And I can agree with what he's saying, but what I could see is Priest losing to Drew McIntyre, and you put the heavyweight title on McIntyre, because you're right. I think he deserves to have a title even for a little while. Then you could have Punk feud with him,
right?
And you can have Priest try and feud with Cody Rhodes. I think that would be a good fit.
Yeah.
That maybe that's how you get into that, and then then at WrestleMania you could have the two of them fight, Punk and Cody Rhodes fight for the titles.
Right.
I don't think they're going to put two champions against each other for a while. I could be wrong on that, but we just went through how many years of unified titles, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, don't even suggest that to me. I don't want to even.
No, you're gonna do it. It's the same way with the tag titles. You're not going to see the tag titles
apart for a while.
They're not going to be on. Yeah, they're not going to be on like one tag team for a while. I think it's just better. You have one on one brand and one on the other.
Yeah,
I think that's the way that it should go. You know,
I think it works better on all fronts. It works better with the heavyweight title, the world championship, and the tag titles, and the women's titles being separated. It gives every show something to look forward for the women to have, and then they have tag titles for both shows, and they have a champion on both shows, as opposed to one champion. So
who never shows up.
Right.
Absolutely. But we're all missing the obvious topic here is the fact that Gunther is going to get a title shot at SummerSlam.
Yep.
And I think that's just the beginning. I don't see him getting the title there, because I think you're going to see him get the Money in the Bank to culminate with challenging Cody for the undisputed title. Because then you get your ultimate good guy versus your foreign bad guy. And now we're officially back to 1987.
Yeah. Agreed.
I do. I like that. I forgot about Gunther. I don't like him.
I like him a lot, actually. I really appreciate what he does, and I would definitely never ever want to be the guy getting one of those chops.
Oh my God, your chest is so red after that. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like getting a try. It's like the other night when I texted you, Paul, and was just like, oh my God, Braun Strowman is a large fucking individual. And he's gotten bigger, not taller, wider. And it's all muscle. And I look at it and I'm going, oh, are they going to let him come and get a title? Like, I think he needs to be a title holder at some point for something. Let him be the Intercontinental Champion or something, or be the U.S. champion. Let him go against Logan Paul. I would love that. Let him beat the crap out of Logan Paul for a while.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good enough wrestler to wrestle Paul.
No,
Yeah,
I don't like Logan Paul. I think he's
it wouldn't be a good match. But anyway,
I would like to see Logan Paul against Ricochet again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
That would be a good one.
Or the new kid, Dragunov.
Like him too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like him too.
All right.
We
We
should
got to
move
keep
on.
this
We're boring,
moving.
Kevin.
Yes. I thought Kevin was
No.
asleep for a minute.
I'm taking it all in.
Is that what that look is?
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
with your eyes open, but your brain has just gone to sleep. That's what you're telling us.
I am. I know all about CM Punk now.
There you go.
All right. But I would very much like to throw it back to Jack with his trivia time with Jack. Hit it.
You got it right. Good work. Finally.
I know.
DC, welcome back. Pick a number
Thank you,
between
sir.
1 and 5. You're welcome.
4.
Oh, yes. The best one of the whole trivia.
Of course.
What popular condiment was once sold as a medical cure for diarrhea?
What condiment was sold for diarrhea?
It's fitting because you're in the hospital.
I think I know the answer.
I don't have any problems going to the bathroom. They keep trying to give me laxative. I'm like, I don't need it.
Ooh,
I'm gonna say mustard.
close, but no.
Oh, shit.
Go ahead, Kev.
Mayonnaise.
No.
Oh,
When I say close, though, DC, do you know what it is now?
The ketchup?
Ketchup.
There we go.
I was gonna say ketchup, and I was like, that's just too easy. Fuck me.
that's a lie.
Corbs.
2.
son of a bitch.
What is the only food that can never go bad?
Twinkies.
I thought that too, but no. It is sweet, though.
Sugar.
Oh, I
No.
know.
No. Do you want to redeem yourself, Kev?
Honey.
Honey.
Okay. I'm
All
not
right,
wrong
dear.
with Twinkies, though. They don't go bad.
All right,
All right.
dear. Thanks a lot.
Kev,
5.
what is the name of the hottest chili pepper?
Oh, it's not Ghost. It's not,
I thought of you, Hugh, when I put this down because I think you would know this for some reason.
I don't know what this is. It's something that they just just figured out here not too long ago. And they only use the extract from it, I believe. The oil. It's not, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what the name of it is.
Do you want to take a guess?
No, I'll say ghost pepper, but I know there's hotter than that, and I don't know what it is.
Anthony Kiedis.
What, Paul?
Would that be the
Is it-
Reaper? The
Is it the
Carolina
California?
Reaper?
Is it the
It's
Carolina
the
Reaper?
Reaper?
It's the Carolina
Yep.
Reaper. You
The
were
Reaper's
starting.
the
Carolina
hottest
Reaper.
one?
Yeah, you were starting to
Oh.
say you're like. I'm like, yeah, you.
No, I completely forgot about the Reaper, but I actually thought there was one hotter than that too. But okay.
Yeah. Paul,
3 before Hugh steals it.
you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I don't know this one.
Probably.
Which U.S. president is estimated to have the highest IQ? It's an older president, I'll give you that. If you want another hint, because it's a
no,
president. Okay. Oh, you might know.
I don't want a hint because it's Abraham Lincoln.
No. If you all want to take a guess, I'll be impressed if one of you gets this, though.
Can you 1800s or 1900s?
1800s.
William Howard Taft.
He did get stuck in a tub, but no. Okay, this might give it away a little bit. President 1 through 10, he's in that range.
Wow.
And I know 1 in 15. That's it.
I know them all frontwards and backwards, unfortunately.
Yes, you would.
All right, do you want to just know?
Yes.
John Quincy Adams.
I knew it. Fuck.
He also swam
One
naked
of the Adams.
Yes, he also swam naked in the Potomac River every morning too, which is pretty disturbing. All right, Hugh, this one's pretty tough, I think. So, how many players are on an average rugby team?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. 12.
No.
Okay, that's it. Because I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I know. 15.
You were so close.
All right.
No, I wasn't.
So
Don't placate me.
let's do some happy birthdays to some famous people. Annette Bening, famous actress, is 66 years old. Music musician Danny Elfman is 71. I almost butchered that name.
Oh, wow. Batman.
Former NBA and SU player Carmelo Anthony is 40 years old.
He's only 40?
I know, right?
It's
Well,
shocking.
think about
Sorry.
it. LeBron doesn't turn
Yeah.
40. They were drafted in the same draft class.
They were. And then some things that happened in history today. So in 1932, World War I veterans went to Washington, D.C. to request their cash bonuses that they never received during the war. And in 1942, Bing Crosby records the album White Christmas. And in just 18 minutes he records it, believe me. It's just kind of weird. And it sold over 100 million copies.
Wow.
And in 1980, for Corbs and DC, Larry Bird beat out Magic Johnson for Rookie of the Year. In the
Yes, he
NBA.
did.
It's
Yes, he did.
for Danny.
And he beat him badly. And Magic took that personally in the NBA Finals. And the Lakers won the Finals 1980, beating Philadelphia 4-2.
Yes, he did. You're absolutely right. But Paul, what do you got for us?
All right. Yes, it's time for our weekly topic because I'm not doing that thing yet, Jack.
That's what I wasn't gonna go with that, but all right.
All right, this week's weekly topic, boys. And this one's thanks to Jack. He suggested this one a while back. What is your guilty pleasure movie? You know it sucks, but you love it anyway. And the boys will let us know when we return from the break. Stick with us, guys.
Talking to the stranger with the skeleton flute was his first mistake. Playing it was his second. Be careful what you wish for never meant anything to 12-year-old Sam until the night he blows into the skeleton flute and wishes for his parents to stay together. The stranger promised Sam his greatest desire, but the morning after the low, warbling note came out of the glowing flute, Sam's life has been turned upside down. His brother and sister don't exist, and his best friend doesn't know him. His parents are together and happy, but is it worth sacrificing everyone else he loves? Caught in a web of unintended consequences, Sam must try to get his old life back, despite the challenges that wait for him if he succeeds. And that means uncovering the mystery behind the strange man's identity and the skeleton flute. The Skeleton Flute hits shelves on August 27th. You can pre-order your copy now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local indie, and most major book retailers.
Hi, this is Craig Palmer. If you ever aspire to be a wrestler, come on down to Upstate Wrestling Entertainment, located at 1121 Glenwood Avenue in Nottingham, New York. We're open every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. Come on down and join us. See you then.
Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a key back issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
And that sound means it's time for the weekly topic. Let me reiterate. It's your guilty pleasure movie. You guys know it sucks, but you love it anyway. Kev, what you got?
So it's kind of two. There's one that my wife really loves, and I like it too. It's a lot of fun. And then there's one that I really like that I honestly don't believe anybody else in the world likes. So I'll go with the wife first. She loves The Rundown, which is a rock movie.
Yep. Sean William Scott. Yep.
It's just, I mean, you got Rosario Dawson in there, the moron from freaking American Pie or whatever.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Christopher Walken in it.
And Christopher Walken. Yeah. I mean, the movie is. I love it. I think it's hilarious. We laugh our freaking balls off. Monkey. I mean, we laugh our ass off. So it's funny. So mine. Oh, brother, where art thou?
Nice.
Okay.
Love the soundtrack.
Good movie.
Not a lot of people think that. I do. Do
you see the similarities with the Odyssey with that movie a little bit too?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to. You're supposed to.
Really good movie.
Nice. DC, you want to go?
Sure.
Ooh.
Guilty pleasure. Even though originally Sean texted me and him and I had the same one, so I picked a different one. So mine is Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Oh, fantastic!
Nice, good choice.
That's a fun movie.
I love Mel Brooks movies. Like Young Frankenstein is one of my favorites. But it's Robin Hood, Men in Tights. It's so bad it makes fun of all the other Robin Hood movies. It's great, and Dave Chappelle is fucking hilarious.
Yes,
in that movie. Yes. That's mine.
All right. Well, since he referenced you in it, Corbs, what do you got?
All right. So, like I said, I had nothing. I really I was like, I couldn't think of anything. And this movie just popped into my head. It's a movie from the 80s. I've been looking to watch it. I can't find it anywhere streaming. It's called Ice Pirates.
I've heard of that. Never seen it.
I actually have too.
It is a B movie if there's ever a B movie, but it is so fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
It's a parody of Star Wars, but also
Alien.
Yeah, Alien. It's Alien. It's like a space parody. It's so bad that it's funny.
One of the best lines in the whole movie is they find this like egg that something hatched out of, and they find out what was in the egg, and they find out that it was a space herpy. So one guy looks at the other guy and he goes, "So what you're telling me is the ship has herpes?" Hilarious.
And that's a running joke throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, and him and I picked it at the exact same time.
You did.
And he
That's
texted
awesome.
He texted me and said that, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's mine!" So I switched.
That's awesome. Jack?
All right, so we're gonna go back to the 80s ourselves. And what Corbs said, this is totally B-rated movie. I even know the year. 1987, a year before I was born. Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's a trucker movie. He reconnects with his son. He arm wrestles on the side. Kenny Loggins sung "Meet Me Halfway," and here's the cherry on the sundae: Robert Loggia is the villain.
Yep.
But it's just so cool though. Like I was like, I want to watch this so bad, and I couldn't
Oh,
sleep.
holy.
I literally went to YouTube, and it's on YouTube right now for free. And I was like, wow, this is just so bad. But it's just so they're arm wrestling in the movie, and his son's in the audience. He's like, "Come on, Dad, you got this!" And he goes like, and like just the arm wrestling. But I literally was having a beer with my dad the other night, and my dad's like, "So you watch any good movies lately?" And I was like, "I watched Over the Top." He's like, "Oh my fucking God, that stupid movie." I'm like, "Dad, it's a good movie." He's like, "It's shit." I'm like, "Oh my God."
He even makes the Stallone face while arm wrestling. It's hilarious.
But that's my guilty pleasure.
Nice. Hugh?
Well, this is a movie guaranteed that nobody here has ever seen. In early 2021, I believe it was, might have been a little bit earlier. Two Japanese horror franchises met in Sadako versus Kayoko. Now, this would be the Ghost Girl from The Ring and the Ghost Girl from The Grudge slammed together in a horror movie, which is really nonsensical, kind of stupid, definitely a B movie, but so much fun if you're a fan of those characters. They change so many parts of the mythology, and it's just like, yeah, it's stupid, but at the same time, it's cool seeing these two ghost creatures beat the shit out of each other instead of all of the kids that they're supposed to kill. I also love that movie because a Japanese band called Psychma 2, who's very interesting. They're like this almost progressive metal band that's been around for decades, and they record all of their songs in both Japanese and English. So they did the theme song for this called "The Curse of Shana Nana." It's a fucking killer song. It's an awesome song. And if you listen to it, if you look it up after this, you have to listen to it both in Japanese and then the English version. It's insane because you think different languages, words probably don't rhyme the same way or whatever. Somehow this fucking works. Even though they're singing in Japanese, it sounds like it's crazy. But it definitely a cool over-the-top campy metal song to go along with an over-the-top campy horror movie. I enjoyed immensely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
all
Corbs.
right. So, yeah, Corbs?
Well, just give it another one.
So much like Kevin, I have a dual wield on this one. I had to go for my all-time is They Live, the Roddy Piper Carpenter movie. Yes.
Yep.
Watched that last year with Madison, and it became one of her top 5 movies of all time. The kid does not have great taste.
Well, look where she came from.
Right. And then we literally just watched this the other night, and that is The Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
A cheesy ass 80s like teen / not really a horror.
Wolfman's got nards.
Yes.
Wolfman's got yes.
Wolfman's got nards.
The rewatch and this probably shouldn't be in our next segment because I did just watch it. But the rewatch did shine some light on how different the 80s were from here. When, the first half of the movie, they spend calling each other faggots. A lot.
Yep.
So they're in good company with like Pope Francis and stuff.
Right. It's all good.
Right.
Well, it's funny you say that too, like with the movie that I was just mentioning, that Over the Top movie, and I didn't notice this the first time. So yeah, I've seen it many times. But Terry Funk is the enforcer as well.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes, he is.
Oh, you could have gone. I could have gone with another one, Roadhouse.
Roadhouse is great.
These are supposed to be bad movies,
right?
Not good movies.
No, the new Roadhouse is good. The old one is one of the cheesy ones, but you watch it, it's like bouncers would, real bouncers would go home and fondle themselves and watch it. So, and they would go home with their friends and talk about bouncing and fondle each other watching Roadhouse. Oh my God, Patrick Swayze's hitting another one. You know, so.
So, and the other movie I just texted DC about it is Howard the Duck.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
yes.
that's definitely on the list.
That's definitely on the list. I like the line, "They live. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all
out of bubblegum.
I love it. Roddy Piper. Gotta love it.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. So let's follow that up with bringing this motherfucker home. Guys, what are we watching?
I would
I'll
say, go. You want to go DC? Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'll go. Right now, I'm watching Edmonton beat Dallas 4-2 right now. I think it's in the second, maybe third. But what I'm watching is a lot of stuff on my phone because I'm in the hospital. I can only get certain channels on the TV. So I'm watching a lot of sports on the TV, but on my phone, I've been going back and forth with Hulu and Disney Plus, watching a lot of Marvel shit because I've seen almost all the Star Wars stuff. And I'm not going to get into Bad Batch until I can watch it on my TV because I got a 50-inch TV. But I watched a movie the other night called Street Kings with Keanu Reeves. Early Keanu Reeves. Good flick. Like, I was really surprised. Forrest Whitaker, Jay Moore. So, yeah, that was it. Street Kings was one. And then I rewatched, like, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Captain Marvel, Deadpool 2, and Logan. It was all in the last 3 days.
So say that's all today. That's
just nothing to do but watch TV. I can't get into my laptop, and there's not enough light in my room unless I want to blind myself to read my book. So I'm watching movies.
Well, there you go. All right, Kev.
Oh, I mean, haven't started anything new. I mean, we watched Fallout, and I finally caught up with what was it called? Tales of the Empire.
Yep.
Really good backstory for who were the two? It was Morgan Elspeth, and then who was the one before that?
I forget her name, but I know you're
talking yes, the girl.
I could see her, but I forget her name too.
No.
I feel like this exact same conversation happened last time. You guys couldn't remember the name of this lady.
Yeah.
Ahsoka?
No. She was with Ahsoka. She was a Padawan when Ahsoka was a Padawan. They were together.
I forget the name too, but you're absolutely right.
It was great. What was great was they always said there was so many theories about what happened to her. That maybe she was this person or that person or this assassin or that assassin. The story that they gave her, I'm not going to give anything away if you haven't seen it, if somebody else hasn't seen it, whatever. It was so fitting. You know what I mean? It was really great. And Kathy looks at me again, same stuff. She goes, "This is animated?" Great stuff.
Awesome. Hugh.
I have started watching Dark Matter on from Apple TV. Really good show. Another kind of alternate reality back and forth kind of thing. Apple's done a few of those recently. This one's sufficiently different from the last one to still be, really, really good. Still, I think episode 5 just came out. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but it's worth taking a look. The other thing that we watched Them, the second season, Them, the Scare. Enjoyed that. But what I'm most excited about, and we haven't been able to watch the second episode, but Interview with the Vampire is back and firing on all cylinders. The season 2 premiere, at one point actually had me laughing out loud, which I don't generally do when watching things, even funny things. But the character that plays Daniel, the reporter, I forget the actor's name, but I swear to God, if they ever do a biopic of Anthony Bourdain, he has to be the guy that plays him because he just gets going on a rant with these two vampires he's interviewing and like berating them, and I'm just like, holy shit. First of all, that's what Bourdain would do if he met a bunch of vampires, but it was fucking hilarious. But this show is so well done.
Yeah, we
I-
haven't
I-
started that yet.
Obviously, you saw the first season, Hugh. It was good
Yes.
because I wanted to watch because I've obviously seen the movie and read the book. So I want to know about the TV series. It's good.
It's
Phenomenal.
fantastic.
Okay.
Like,
that means I got to watch it. So I got to watch it then because I like that kind of shit. I like that. I like the
you
analyzing
just
stuff.
have to be prepared that they had to kind of bring it up to current times just a little
Sure.
bit. And I'm not talking just in like things people would call woke. I'm saying in time frame because it's now 2024 and the book was written in like the 70s. So they kind of had to move everything forward a few decades for it all to make sense. So some things are rejiggered, but it's still the same basic story, but it's way better than the movie. I mean, I love the movie, but holy crap, this is exceptional.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
Agreed.
Wow. I'm ready. I'm going to find it.
Corbs,
Yeah.
your turn.
Okay. So I watched a couple of things. I watched 2 movies, sequels, because it's called Code 8. So Code 8 and then Code 8 Part 2. They're on Netflix. It stars Stephen Amell and Rob Amell, or Robbie Amell. It's about people that have it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Push with Chris Evans. It's kind of like that. Like a certain population has certain superpowers, stuff like that. So in Rob Amell's character, he's the main character in it. He is like, his mom is in the movie is dying, and he's trying to figure out how to save her. So he starts hanging out with a group of guys that pull off bank jobs and stealing stuff. So it was kind of interesting. I like I said, I watched them both because I saw Code 8 Part 2 and I looked at it, and it had Stephen Amell, which I know everybody knows him from Arrow, and Heels on MGM or Stars, whatever it's called. So I wanted to watch it because I kind of like him as an actor. So I watched it. Very, very good. I'm not gonna say it's one of those ones you got to drop everything and go watch though. If you have Netflix, it's not one of those must see movies. The other thing I finished up watching when I got Netflix, I finished up watching the TV series Full Swing. It's about golf, and obviously, and this season, this is season 2. It was the build up to the Ryder Cup from last year, and it kind of builds all the way through the season and how they show the guys that are locks to be picks, and then how the 2 captains select their other 6 picks. So it was pretty interesting. It goes all the way through the Ryder Cup. So I enjoyed it. So again, it was that I like, and I'm hoping. I think they're coming out with a season 3, which would be nice. So I'm looking forward to that.
Are they going to put in there Scotty Scheffler got arrested?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you that'll be in the next season if they go that route. And
number one golfer in the world gets arrested
at the PGA Championship.
At the PGA Championship, trying to get ready for his tee time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was trying to. So the backstory there is. So there was an accident right outside the entrance to the golf course, and in the accident, somebody was killed. And they had the whole thing blocked off. And he got there with I want to say 2 hours before his tee time, which guys normally do. They go there, they stretch, they got to, practice. They practice range, hit golf balls and practice putting. And it's a whole big deal. So what he tried to do is he tried to go around the accident. And the cops jumped on his car. The cops jumped on his car and got him to stop, yanked him out of the car, threw him in handcuffs. He tried to get one of the reporters from ESPN to vouch for him, and the guy's like, "I don't give a fuck who you are." The cop said to him, "I don't care who you are. You're going to jail." And they booked him and took him to jail.
Yep.
So, and then he showed up. They got him. He got booked, and they got mugshots and all that stuff. And then they posted bail for him, and he was back at the golf course. I'll say 2 hours later. At that point they had suspended. Or they had moved the tee times a couple hours back. because there was the accident and somebody that was working at the PGA Championship, I think he was like a cook or something like that, was killed in the accident. So that's the backstory why he wasn't arrested. So, and I just found out today that all the charges against him were dropped. So
You don't want to know why?
because he's Scotty Scheffler.
No, because the cop didn't have his body cam on.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's why. Cop didn't have his body cam on,
So,
which is a no-no.
but I'll tell you this right now: the moment it happened, like I got texts from like 3 or 4 different people. Oh, did you hear Scotty Scheffler got arrested and all that stuff? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. The charges will be dropped against him.
Yeah.
So
I got that when I woke up for breakfast here.
Yep.
I was like, are you serious? Because one of my therapists came in and said, did you see what just happened? Turned on ESPN, and it was right before Get Up at 8:00. They started the show with that. The first half an hour of the show was devoted to that. They didn't even talk about anything else.
Yep.
So, yeah. So.
All right. Before I toss it over to Jack, since you brought up Heels, did you see that is now owned by Netflix?
I did not.
Yes, they purchased Heels. That's going to be coming to Netflix with the potential for a new season.
Yeah, I was looking at it because I saw, like I said, I was watching Code 8 and Stephen Amell was in it. I went and looked and I found out that after season two, it got canceled. And I was like, yeah, how do you cancel it at the end of that season? Hugh, you were watching it. Did you watch season 2?
Yes, I did.
And I said to myself, how do you cancel it at that point? I mean,
you cancel a show when it's not making you enough money, regardless of where the story
Where
is.
the story ended, yeah.
But I don't know if that was really the case or not, or if there was something else going on there, especially if Netflix is showing interest.
Right.
Well, that makes me happy because I have Netflix, so I can finally catch up on this show that you guys have been raving about. So
You gotta get caught up on a lot of shows, man.
yeah, that's no shit.
Dude, stop working and just watch TV all day.
Give up work, give up the podcast, and just constantly watch TV.
There you go. No deal, nothing.
No, you still got to do the podcast. You just got to freaking watch TV.
You'll just have one of those big ZZ Top beers or some shit like that.
Like last Wednesday when you forgot to tell your wife that you weren't recording and we're working on stuff for the D&D show, and I'm texting you back and forth, and you're like, "Oh, I forgot to tell my wife that we weren't recording tonight, but I'm working. I'm working on the stuff." I'm like,
yes.
Okay.
All right, Jack. What are you watching?
All right, so
hopefully something short.
Actually, they are short. So I didn't watch any shows. I was watching movie trailers. So movies that I'm getting excited for. I haven't been to the theater in probably like 2 years. So Deadpool 3 looks pretty exciting. So that my buddy and I, we got tickets for opening night. We're excited to see that. So just hearing Deadpool called Logan Peanut, it's just like, okay, we're in for a treat right here. This is gonna be really good. Another one that I'm excited for is Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. So I did a little research. Joaquin Phoenix doesn't like to do sequels. So he got $4.5 million for the first one, and he went up to $20 million just for the sequel. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's like Denzel.
Oh yeah. And then
I thought Joaquin Phoenix was dead.
No,
that's
River.
That's
his
River
brother.
Phoenix. River Phoenix.
His brother. And that was a long time ago.
That was in the Viper Room with Johnny Depp.
No, I thought Joaquin Phoenix went nuts and freaking offed himself.
He went nuts, but he never offed himself.
That's Heath Ledger. Exactly. The next one,
I'm all the same person.
The next one I'm very excited for. I've been waiting for years for this.
You say the Crow, I'll fucking slap you.
No. Michael Keaton and Tim Burton are teaming up again for Beetlejuice 2.
Beetlejuice.
Oh my god, that looks so good. And then I was like, just hearing the trailer where Michael Keaton is like, the juice is loose. I'm like, perfect. This looks so good. And then the last one, they're fan-made trailers. They haven't really dropped the official trailer yet. It's been 15 years. I'm a little hesitant, but I want to see it. Gladiator 2.
Yep.
So you have
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you have Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, and it's going to be Lucius is on the run. He's in the wilderness for 15 years, and his mom is the lady, the queen is still in it. So you're going to have her back from the original Gladiator. Ridley Scott directed it. It's coming out on Paramount in November. So Russell Crowe, they asked him about it recently. He's like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I saw they were building the Coliseum. He is pissed. He's like, I want nothing to do with it. Of course, he probably wanted maybe something to do with it, but I'm hesitant. But I think I want to see that one because that looks pretty interesting.
Years ago, they were
What?
trying to make a sequel to that and bring Russell Crowe's character back from the dead in somehow. or something.
Okay.
That they actually have been trying to do that for years now.
Okay. Yeah. So
That's why he's pissed, because he was involved at that point.
got it. But yeah, like I said, it looks interesting. The budget's $310 million. So
Damn.
I'm kind of interested to see what it's gonna do. So I was watching movie trailers this week, like over and over again, because those are 4 movies that I'm probably gonna be going to see.
Nice. The only thing for me is other than Monster Squad, was that I finally got to sit down and watch episode 2 of Fallout. So, I'm still slowly advancing. Yeah. It just sucks because the goddamn kids don't go to bed before Kristen at this point. So we get like one show every 3 weeks that we get to watch for like adult programming. Love that fucking show though. And I may just end up watching it without her because it's really good. It's really fucking cool.
I've only seen the first episode. Actually, I watched it last night.
Have you played any Fallout, Paul?
No, and that's
Oh.
I'm going into this completely blind. So it's a lot of fun.
They do a really good job. I mean, they do a really good job.
It's really cool. Really fucking cool.
Did anybody see this, that filming on 28 years later has begun?
Yep.
Yes.
It's actually happening after
That's awesome.
years of being put off.
Cool.
And Cillian Murphy is going to be back in some way, shape, or form.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I've still got to go back and
I'm
watch
sorry,
the original. So,
That's such a good movie too.
all right. Well, if we don't have anything else, that should bring us home, right, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Hope so. I'm
All
home.
right.
Cool.
You gonna drop some nuggets on everybody?
I would love to. Live a why not life. Take their shot. The shot's always worth taking. Good night, everybody, and Mega Miami bitches.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.